John D. Rockefeller, the man who built a system. You can't escape in 1870. A 31-year-old man controlled just 4% of America's oil refining industry. 10 years later, that number had risen to 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91% of oil production and 85% of sales. That man was John D. Rockefeller. But what truly matters isn't that he built an oil empire. Rockefeller built the foundation of the modern corporate system we still live in today. When Standard Oil was broken up in 1911, that system didn't disappear. It evolved, spread, and quietly embedded itself into every part of our lives. The gasoline you put in your car, the technology you use, the medicine you buy, the platforms you order food from, the banks you borrow money from, they all follow the same playbook. That playbook is built on 4 core principles: vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, influence over regulators, and legitimacy through philanthropy. Rockefeller didn't just refine oil. He took control of barrel factories. He controlled transportation. He controlled storage, distribution, and sales. While his competitors made money from a single step, Rockefeller controlled the entire chain. The result was simple. Because he owned the whole system, he could produce cheaper and sell at prices that forced his competitors into losses, and that's exactly what he did. In 1872, he gave Cleveland's refineries 2 choices: sell or go bankrupt. Most sold. Those who refused collapsed. Within 3 months, Rockefeller controlled 95% of Cleveland's refineries. This wasn't an exception. It was a formula. Buy. If they refuse, cut prices. Let them break. Then take what's left. By 1879, Standard Oil controlled 90% of America's oil refining. At that point, it wasn't a company anymore. It was a monopoly. Rockefeller also understood that monopolies have 2 enemies: public hatred and government intervention. His solution was the trust structure. Companies appeared separate, but were all controlled from a single center. This became the first true model of what we now call a holding company. The roots of today's corporate giants trace back to this structure. When Standard Oil was broken up in 1911, many believed it was the end. But Rockefeller still owned shares in every piece. After the breakup, the combined value of those companies increased, and so did his wealth. Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, BP, all descendants of Standard Oil, and over time many of them merged back together. But Rockefeller's real legacy wasn't oil, it was the method. What Amazon does today is a modern version of his vertical integration. Google's corporate structure mirrors the Standard Oil Trust. The relationship between pharmaceutical companies and regulators follows the same blueprint. And then there was philanthropy. The Rockefeller Foundation wasn't created just to help people. It was a way to avoid taxes, restore public image, and decide which research and institutions would be funded. Every major billionaire foundation today follows this model. That's why escaping this system is so difficult. You think you're choosing freely, but you're really just moving between different branches of the same network. Is the system evil? Not always. It delivers cheaper products, faster services, and efficient production. But it also concentrates wealth at the top and eliminates real competition. Rockefeller understood this perfectly. That's why he said, "Competition is a sin." We still live in the world he designed. You may not be able to escape it, but you can understand it. And understanding the system is always better than being lost inside it. Good luck playing the game in Rockefeller's system.